What is going on? Hi, everyone. Hi. This is the second video or second part of me reading Turntables of the Night by Terry Pratchett and not understanding what's going on. So your friend has an interesting choice of music. Yes, he's a collector, you know. I know. Could you please introduce me to him? Could I stop you? I doubt it. Alright, perhaps 4 cups. But the lady serving said there was hardly anything in it all except orange squash and homemade wine, and she looked a dear old soul. Well, apart from the wolf unmasked, that is. But I know all the dancers were standing like statues, and the music was just a faint buzz, and there were all these blue and purple shadows around everything. I mean, drink doesn't do that. Wayne wasn't affected. He stood with his mouth open watching us. Wayne, I said, this is a friend. Whose? I said, and you could tell I didn't take to the person because his flares were huge, and he wore one of those silver identity bracelets on his wrist, the sort you could moor a battleship with, and they looked so posy. The fact that his wrist was solid bone wasn't doing anything to help either. I kept thinking there was a conclusion I ought to be jumping to, but I couldn't quite get a running start. My head seemed to be full of wool. Is this death? Everyone's, he said, sooner or later. This has to be death. What the fuck? I understand you're something of a collector. Well, in a small, said Wayne. I gather you're almost as keen as I am, Wayne. Wayne's face lit up. That was Wayne, all right. I swear if you shot him, he'd come alive again if it meant a chance to talk about his hobby. His lifetime's work. No, what happened to him? Gosh, he said, are you a collector? Absolutely. Wayne peered at him. We haven't met before, have we? He said. I go to most of the collectors' meetings. Were you at the Blenheim Record Fest and auction? I don't recall. I go to so many things. Come on. What the... That was the one where the auctioneer had a heart attack. Oh yes, I seem to remember popping in just for a few minutes. Very few bargains there, I thought. Oh, I don't know. He was only 43. What the... Oh, God. All right, Inspector, maybe 6 drinks, or maybe it wasn't the drinks at all. But sometimes you get the feeling, don't you, that you can see a little way into the future? Oh, you don't? Well, anyway, I might not have been entirely in my right mind, but I was beginning to feel pretty uncomfortable about all this. Well, anyone would, even you. Wayne, I said, stop right now. If you concentrate, he'll go away. Settle down a bit. Please, take a deep breath. This is all wrong. The brick wall on the other side of me paid more attention. I know Wayne when he meets fellow collectors. They have these weekend rallies. You see them in shops. Strange people. But none of them as strange as this one. He was dead strange. Literally dead strange. Literally. Wayne! They both ignored me. And inside my mind, bits of my brain were jumping up and down, shouting and pointing, and I couldn't let myself believe what they were saying. Oh, I've got them all, he said, turning back to Wayne. Holy shit. Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, John Lennon. Fairly widespread musically, said Wayne. Have you got the complete Beatles? Not yet. Oh, shit. And I swear they started to talk records. Not really. I remember Mr. Friend saying he'd got the complete 17th, 18th, and 19th century composer. Well, he would, wouldn't he? I've always had to do Wayne's fighting for him ever since we were at primary school, and this had gone far enough. And I grabbed Mr. Friend's shoulder and went to lay a punch right in the middle of that grinning mask. And he raised his hand, and I felt my fist hit an invisible wall, which yielded like treacle. And he took off his mask, and he said 2 words to me, and then he reached across and took Wayne's hand very gently. And then the power amp exploded because, like I said, Wayne wasn't very good with connectors, and the church hall had electrical wiring that dated back practically to 1800 or something. And then what with the decorations catching fire and everyone screaming and rushing about, I don't really know much about anything until they brought me round in the car park with half my hair burned off, and the hall going up like a firework. No, I don't know why they haven't found him either. Not so much as a tooth? No, I don't know where he is. No, I don't think he owed anyone any money. But I think he's got a new job. There's a collector who's got them all. Presley, Hendrix, Lennon, Holly. And he's the only collector who'll ever get a complete collection anywhere. And Wayne couldn't pass up a chance like that. Wherever he is now, he's taking them out of their jackets with incredible care and spinning them with love on the turntables of the night. Sorry, talking to myself there. I'm just puzzled about one thing. Well, millions of things actually, but just one thing right at the moment. I can't imagine why Mr. Friend bothered to wear a mask. Because he looked just the same underneath, idiot officer. What did he say? Well, I dare say he comes to everyone in some sort of familiar way. Perhaps he just wanted to give me a hint. He said, drive safely. No, really, I'll walk home. Thanks. Yes, I'll mind how I go. Now I get the whole thing about him saying he's never going to drive again. I actually like the idea that despite that this is a non-Discworld story, what if it is? And then it's just death in another dimension. Ours. That was amazing. That was so good. Thank you. thank you to both of you, Crystal and Danielle. Australian Discworld Convention. I'm gonna fucking make it happen. And then tour Australia next year. I want to do that. Let's make this happen, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna go read more things.